I wanted to I wanted to essentially do something like this during that live stream I made a while ago, but I just couldn't find the words, so I'm gonna do it here. 2017. What a year. Come January, I was amongst a small group. We were waging quote unquote war against a certain person, which I am now ashamed to say that I was a part of that, but it is what it is. But in that, we started to become more friendly, just chat more, and I met new people. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. At the same time, I'm doing a diecast series. Really, really bad diecast series, but I enjoyed doing it nonetheless. That ran for a good while. And then come February, I discover NR 2003. February 16th. A day that will remain ingrained in my mind from this year. It was my sister's birthday, which, happy birthday. I uploaded a tribute video which remained the most viewed video on my channel, on that channel and on the second one for a long time. That video has not been re-uploaded to the third channel, reaching over 3,000 views at certain points. That video was uploaded on that day, as well as the very first NR race I ever did, the Ferrari Clash at Daytona. I don't even remember who won, and unfortunately I can't go back and look. But that was a pretty proud day, and I enjoyed that very well. I try and start my very first NR series, the Energizer series at the time, with the Gen 6 cars from 2015. This is GR15, or Gen 6 BR15 mod is what I'm trying to say. With the 2016 cars that only ran about 2 or 3 races until I realized it simply wouldn't work. Later in the month and into March, the PDNC, the Planet Dolan NASCAR Championship, formerly called the Planet Dolan Plate Championship, because it was primarily focused on restrictor plate tracks and pack racing tracks. That ran for a good while, and it was something. I look back on it now and I cringe a little bit and thinking, why did I think that series was a good idea? But at the time, it was fun, and to those of you who were around at that time, you know what I'm talking about. Even if you don't, I still have those old cars saved. And in the span of March to May, I'm continuing to meet folks, talk to folks, and of course still running the PDNC and some one-off races for individual characters every now and then. Which I still think about now. It's like, my goodness. But even in February, I had a weird thing for the Shima character, which resulted in me going on a brief hiatus, which lasted through the Daytona 500. Y'all remember just how weird that was if you were around back then. And I do not wish to repeat that. But I won't. So that was a thing. Then come the end of May, head after the drag races, the NHRA Lucas Oil Division, which that was a blast. And then later that night, after one of the days that I went to that, we did the Planet Dolan 500. 200 laps around Daytona. I was absolutely shot at that point. Of course, by this time, I'm also on my second YouTube channel. But that's beside the point. It was at this point that I'm really thinking, man, things are looking good right now. The PDNC is fun. And I think that we can keep this going for a while. We even introduced the Truck Amateur Series for some lesser known people, but from that end of the community, the Planton community. Things were looking good. And then one certain video tore that down. Not my own video, but a video that Planton themselves posted, which caused me to lose respect for them, and thus the series ended with that. And a new series was born. That series is now known as the NASCAR Powerade series. You may or may not have heard of it. Also during this time, the NCCS had moved from a diecast series to an NR series. All this taking place in the span of February to May. June. The Powerade series is going strong. The NCCS is going strong. And TRN is going strong. TRN, essentially my version of the NRLOA. Just sums up all the NR series that I was doing at the time. Summed it up in the form of the Top Dragster Racing Network, or TRN, that term coined by Mr. Ben Crouch and Mr. Jack Cochran, an old friend. Ran with that, made a logo, and we were having a blast with it. As I start doing a number of different series, headed into July, NR is starting to become a little bit of a grind for me at this point. And then comes July 5th, yet another day that will stand out from the year. That day, I shoot my career low round in golf, which still stands, of 84. Little did I know that I was also sick, but I pushed through it, and that's what happened. Shot an 86, come home, riding high from that. Incredibly pumped up. I come home, and I see something rather amazing. One of the people from that Truck Amateur series, who I made a scheme for on Twitter, out of nowhere, it had been over 2 months since I had ended the Truck series. The Planton Truck Amateur series, as it was properly called. This person suddenly tweets about it, saying, "This is really dang cool. I hope I can find the person who made this." That took me aback, and that was really, really incredible. And on top of that, I got pranked by the troll network. Which I was a little worried about at the time, but now I just look back on it and it was a pretty good prank. Nicely done. But this person's tweet inspired me to bring that series back, just under a different name, and the Internet Artist Truck series became a thing. So that ran for about 10 races. But it's at this point that I'm doing about 4 different series all at once. It's becoming a bit of a grind. Also at this time, the idea for the Music Artist series was in my mind. I was getting ready for that. I was working on the schemes through the month of August, and the series kicked off later that month. It was the biggest series that I had done to that point. Come September, I'm in an absolute grind. My mind is shot. I'm not enjoying NR as much. I'd fallen into a bit of a mini depression. Which all culminated with an incident at Richmond. Of course, we all know about the Matt Kenseth and the ambulance. Which, of course, people were not too amused by that, and they have every right to be unamused. But still, to me, in my already negative state of mind, seeing more negativity just compounded it. I had a fit. We'll call it a fit. One thing led to another. I felt like I had ruined my reputation. Channel number 2 goes away, and channel number 3 becomes a thing. The channel that you are currently watching this video on. I'm ashamed, but I try and push forward. Sorry, I'm trying to find something to say, because I'm also watching what you're seeing. But yes, that happened. Here, let me jump forward here. There we go. So I spend the later parts of the month of September just rebuilding what I had started. Are we under caution here? Here we are, okay. Let me just skip that again. There we go. I just want some background footage because, you know. But anyways, I resume the Music Artist series from where it had finished on the other channel. We go on to finish that. We crown the champion. And I'm gaining my momentum back. My drive to do NR has returned. Through the month of October, I just keep doing my thing. Waiting to see what kind of momentum we can build. And then brings us to the month of November. Another pretty dang cool month. I've become a part of the NRLOA at this point. Or that may have even been before Halloween, I'm not certain. I'm pretty sure it was in November, though. But I become a part of the NRLOA. And toward the end of the month, I am introduced to the world of online racing, which is, as a matter of fact, what you are seeing here. One of the more recent races that I had done. And I have officially become hooked on online racing. But with being introduced to the world of online racing as well as the NRLOA, it's looking like we're going to end the year on a high note. And coming into December, we're working on getting the Barrett-Jackson series started. The Powerade series is in its second season. The NCCS wraps up. The IndyCar series is in full swing. And I come across yet another group of folks just to expand on the community. 2017 has truly been a phenomenal year for me. In 2018, I'm just hoping that we can keep it going. I want to thank you all for sticking with me through 3 different YouTube channels. And I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I've learned a lot about myself. But who knows, there could come a day where a 4th one could wind up being a thing. I would rather it not be, of course. And I'm going to do everything in my power for that not to happen. But thank you for those of you who have stuck with me. Thank you for those who have been around since the beginning. Thank you to those who are new. I'm glad to be a part of this whole entire deal. Just thank you. That's all I can say. Here's to 2018. Let's keep this train rolling. Thank you, and have a happy new year. Take care, and bye for now.